Shri Saram. Dear students, welcome to the session. Today, let's discuss about the climate, soil, natural vegetation and animals of Karnataka, the chapter 3 in geography. In the previous class, we have discussed the climate. Now the another part, that is soil. Let us discuss today soil of Karnataka state. So before we begin the soils of Karnataka, just I would like to revise what we have discussed in the previous class. So this chapter we have divided into 3 parts. The first one is the climate, second part is soils, and the third part is natural vegetation and wildlife. In the previous class, we have discussed the climate of Karnataka state. So, what type of climate do we have in Karnataka? Yes, in Karnataka experiences the tropical monsoon climate. So, what do you mean by climate? The weather condition of a region in general or over a long period of time is called climate. And this climatic season divided into climate of Karnataka divided into 4 seasons. Which are the 4 seasons of Karnataka's climatic condition or climate? Karnataka's climate divided into 4 seasons. Namely, the first one, summer season. Month starts from March to May. The second one is rainy season, that is from June to September. The third one is retreating monsoon season, that is November and December. And the fourth one is the winter season from December to February. These are the 4 important seasons of Karnataka state climate. So this aspect we have discussed in the previous class. Today our part is soils of Karnataka. So soil is one of the most important thing. Without soil, we cannot imagine the life. So what generally we get from the soil? General things, so many things, everything from soil only. But generally we can look into that food. The food what we eat, we get from the soil. So that is why soil is one of the most important factor in the earth. So without soil, no life. That is why earth is called a unique planet. Because of various factors. In all these factors, soil is one of the important factor to call that earth as a unique planet. So soil, now that type of soil are the most important factor in the earth, soil, in that soils of Karnataka. What types of soil do we have in Karnataka state? And why it is so important? And which soil is most important or fertile? All such things we have to discuss in this chapter or in this part. So that is soils of Karnataka. So the top thin layer of the earth surface is called soil. You know earth surface or earth is divided into, generally earth divided into 3 layers. Can you mention the layers of the earth? The first one is crust, mantle and core. These are the 3 layers of the earth. The topmost layer is called crust. Next is mantle and next one is core. So these are the 3 layers of the earth, crust, mantle and core. So here the top thin layer of the earth surface, the top thin layer of the earth surface is called as soil. The formation of soil, you know that in the earth there are 4 important spheres. The 4 spheres are there, namely lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere and biosphere. So lithosphere related to rocks. Lithos means rock, the sphere which contains the rock. So earth is rock. So that is called lithosphere. So this weathering of rocks is the main cause for the formation of the soil. What do you mean by weathering? The weathering is nothing but because of the temperature, the rock expands and contracts. It is a continuous process. Several million years process it is. So break the rock into pieces. Then these small pieces carried away by the agents of gradations like running water or rivers, rainwater, wind, glaciers and so on, and will be deposited and makes the soil. This is called how the soil formation, and also buried remains, humus and all these things formation of soil takes place. So this is how the formation of the soil. So fertile soil is essential for agriculture. What do you mean by agriculture? Agriculture means nothing but tilling the land and growing up crops is called or known as agriculture. So nearly 70% of the population in India, the major occupation is agriculture. That is primary activity. In the occupation structure, there are three occupation structures: the primary activity, secondary activity and tertiary activity. You know that primary activity which are directly involved or connected to nature, that is called primary activity. Agriculture, directly we till the land, that is nature obtained lands or soil, and we grow the crops, that is called agriculture. That is a primary activity. And one more example for the primary activity is fishing. So nature directly obtained from the nature, the fishing. And what do you mean by the secondary activity or occupation? That is manufacturing industries. So for example, cotton is grown in the agriculture, the primary activity, cotton. And from cotton to clothes, that is secondary activity. Like this occupation structure, this for your information. Now let's come to the point, that is the fertile soil is essential for agriculture. If soil is very fertile, we can grow good variety of crops. If soil is less fertile, we cannot expect the good yield or good variety of crops too. So there are different kinds of soils in Karnataka state. We have different kinds of soils. So among all these soils, they divided the Karnataka soil into four major types, namely the red soil, black soil, laterite soil and coastal alluvial soil. The topmost thin layer of the earth surface is called a soil. This soil is formed due to the weathering of rocks. And in Karnataka state, we have different varieties of soil. All these things put together and they divided or classified into four divisions of soil. They are red soil, black soil, laterite soil and coastal alluvial soil. The fertile soil is very much essential for growing the agriculture. We can grow different varieties of crops. We cannot even imagine the life without agriculture because it is our basic needs. Without food, we cannot survive. So food can be obtained by the soil, with the help of the soil or nature. That is why without food, no life. No life, we cannot exist on the earth surface. We want to stay on the earth, exist on the earth surface, that soil is very much necessary. The basic things I am telling, soil is very much necessary for everything. But the most important thing is food. The basic needs, food, clothing and shelter. All these things, the basic needs, food, clothing and shelter, for all these three things we require soil. Without soil, no basic needs, these basic needs, no food, no shelter, no clothing. This we cannot get without the soil. With the help of the soil only, it is possible for us to get our basic needs. That is why soil is one of the most important factor on the earth surface. So Karnataka state soil divided into or classified into four divisions. One is the red soil, the second one is black soil, laterite soil and coastal alluvial soil. These are the four divisions of the soil. You can look at the picture also. This is the crust, mantle and core, the three layers of the earth. In that top layer, thin layer, that is called soil. So here the red soil, black soil, laterite soil and coastal alluvial soil. All these four important soil types pictures given here. Look at the pictures. Red soil and black soil and laterite soil and also coastal alluvial soil. These are the four important major types of soils in Karnataka state. Yes, next is among these four important soils, let's discuss one by one. The first important soil is red soil. So this type of soil is obtained from weathering of granite and gneiss. Igneous it is. So weathering of granite, it is a type of rock. So usually we get the formation of soil takes place because of the weathering of rocks only. So red soil formation because of the granite rock. The weathering of means breaking of rocks is called nothing but weathering of rocks. Breaking the rocks into pieces. That small pieces convert into soil, then soil formation. The weathering of granite rock main cause for the formation of red soil. And it contains iron oxide and it is called as, or it is red in color. Why it is red in color? Because that granite contains iron oxide. Because of that iron oxide it contains in that, it is red in color. That is why it is called red soil. So red soil due to the weathering of granite rock, and this granite rock consists of iron oxide. Because of that iron oxide its color is red, and it is rich in iron, lime and salt, but it contains small amount of humus. The humus is most important for the formation of soil. It contains less amount of humus, but it is rich in iron, lime and salt. So because of the iron oxide its color is red, and it is light and also has thin layers, and it is not very fertile because it contains small amount of humus. Because of the small amount of humus it is not so fertile, and its capacity to hold the moisture also low. Very quickly it will dry up. The capacity to hold the moisture is very low. It will not hold the moisture for a long time. So more repeated irrigation is required to grow the crops. Repeated irrigation, more irrigation, abundant water supply is required to make use of that soil for agriculture. That is why it is widely distributed in Karnataka and found mainly more in southern part of Karnataka. The red soil is more in Karnataka state. Mainly it is found in southern part of Karnataka state. We can see the red soil. It is not so fertile. It is mainly made up of or weathering of because of the granite rock, and it contains iron oxide. That is why it appears or looks red in color, and it is rich in iron, lime and salt, but less humus. That is why it is less fertile, and the capacity to hold moisture is also very low. This is the major characteristic features of this red soil. So as I already told you, it is less in fertile. If the soil is fertile, you know that different types of crops can be grown. If the soil is little less fertile, we can grow ragi, jowar, bajra, millets and pulses, and some parts tobacco and groundnut are the major important crops can be grown by using this red soil. Red soil is rich in iron, lime, salt, but low in humus, and its fertility of level also very low, and holding moisture is also very low or less. That is why it is possible to grow ragi, jowar, bajra, millets, groundnut, tobacco. These are the major crops which can be grown by using this red soil. Mainly in southern part of Karnataka state, we can see more area covered with the red soil. So these are the crops, ragi and jowar, bajra and other millets, tobacco and groundnuts. So these are the major crops easily can be grown by this red soil. So area with or areas, which are the areas with irrigation facility. If the area is having less irrigation facility, we can grow only ragi, jowar, bajra, millets, pulses and other things. If the area is having the availability of water or irrigation facility more because of the dams or rivers or any other source of water, source of water, so there we can grow not only ragi, jowar, bajra. With the irrigation facility, we can also grow paddy, sugarcane, potato, vegetables, banana and coconut. These are the other crops also can be grown in red soil. Majorly, the areas which are having low irrigation facility, there we can grow ragi, bajra, jowar, pulses and other crops. If the areas are having more irrigation facility, for example dams or rivers or lakes, any such facility is there or more availability of water, we can grow paddy, sugarcane, potato, vegetables, banana, coconut. These are the different kinds of crops also can be grown in this red soil. That is mainly depending on the availability of water. If water is available all the days, then we can grow good variety of crops like this. If water is available very less, then inevitably they have to grow ragi, millets, jowar, bajra, such crops. So look at the pictures. Paddy, sugarcane. I hope that all of you have seen that paddy field. Paddy means nothing but rice. Don't think that paddy is nothing but something different crop. Paddy is nothing but rice, what we consume every day. The South Indian main dish, that is rice. The South Indian main dishes is rice. If you go to North India, there we can say more wheat, chapatis. Okay, here in South India, rice. North India, wheat. So this is the paddy, rice, sugarcane and vegetables, coconut, banana and other crops like potatoes. So these are the different varieties of crops also can be grown in red soil with the help of the more availability of water. So the red soil is found in some of the districts. As I already told you, red soil is more found in southern part of Karnataka state. See Tumkur. It is more found in Tumkur district, Bengaluru. Look at the map also. Tumkur, Bangalore, Ramnagar, Chikbalapur, Kolar, Chamarajnagar, Mandya and Mysore districts. Red soil is mainly found in southern part of Karnataka state, mainly Tumkur, Mandya, Chikbalapur, Kolar, Chamarajnagar and Mysore. These are the important districts where we can see the red soil. Red soil is formed because of the weathering of granite rocks and it is rich in iron, lime and salt and less in humus. That is why fertility of the soil is also very low. With availability of more water, we can grow crops like paddy, sugarcane, potatoes, vegetables, banana and coconut. If less water facility or availability, there we can grow ragi, millets, bajra, jowar and other crops. And districts, the areas where red soil found, that is Tumkur, Bangalore, Ramnagar, Chikbalapur, Kolar, Chamarajnagar and Mysore. These are the important districts where we can see the red soil. It is one of the most important soil in Karnataka state. Clear? Yes, just look at the pictures, the different crops, that is coconut, jowar, paddy, sugarcane, ragi, banana and bajra. All these crops mainly depending on the availability of water, it is possible to grow with red soil. Okay. Yes, now let's discuss the second important soil of Karnataka state, that is black soil. Why it is called black soil? It is also called as Reger soil or cotton soil. Black soil is also known as Reger soil or cotton soil because it is suitable to grow cotton. That is why it is also called as cotton soil. The black soil is also called as Reger or cotton soil. That is because it is very suitable to grow the cotton. That is why it is also called as cotton soil. So this kind of soil is mainly formed by the weathering of basalt rock. By weathering of basalt rock, black soil. By weathering of granite rock, red soil. Weathering of granite rock, red soil. Weathering of basalt rock, black soil. So you know the meaning of weathering. Weathering means nothing but breaking the rocks into pieces. That is due to the temperature and rainfall, wind, and also the plants, roots of the plants. Roots of the plants also cause for the breaking of the rocks, expansion and contract, continuous process from million years. The rock break into pieces, then forms the soil. So that is how the weathering of basalt rock is main cause for the red soil black soil formation. Weathering of granite rock is the main cause for red soil. Weathering of basalt rock is the main cause for formation of the black soil. It is rich in alluvium. Alluvium is very important, very fertile it is, and also magnesium and magnesium oxide and oxide of iron. It is rich in aluminium, magnesium and iron oxide, black soil. So you know that Sial and Sima, Sial and Sima, SIAL and SIMA. SIAL, two are there here, Si plus Al, Sial it is called. Si means silica, Al means aluminium. So here Al, aluminium is there, and another one is Sima, that is silicon and magnesium. See, magnesium is here. In the layer of the earth, we can see Cl and Sima. Cl means silicon and aluminium. Sima means silicon and magnesium. So this black soil is rich in aluminium, that is Al, and Ma, magnesium, and also oxide of iron. Because of the weathering of basalt rock, it is black in color. So it is black in color because of these factors, and it is also called as black cotton soil or Reger soil. It is more suitable to grow cotton. That is the reason it is called black cotton soil. Look at the picture, the black soil and also cotton. And this soil has the ability to retain the moisture for a long period or long time. The first soil, red soil, it has low capacity to hold the moisture, very few days. Quickly, immediately, 1 or 2 days, it will dry up. But black soil hold the moisture for a long time. So what is the advantage, you know? The advantage is less irrigation facility is enough to grow the crops, because with the low availability of water, it holds the moisture for a long time, but red soil will not hold the moisture for a long time. So that is the most important advantage of the black soil, and that is the reason it is rich in soil nutrition. A variety of crops can be grown in this black soil because it is having the capacity to hold the moisture for a long time. So different varieties of crops can be grown with the help of this holding the moisture for a long time. And for example, I already told you cotton is the most important crop mainly grown in this black soil, that is cotton and also jowar, maize, sunflower, chili, Paddy, again paddy with the more irrigation facility, and pulses and onion. These are the most important crops, easily can be grown with the block soil, that is cotton, jowar, maize, sunflower, chili, paddy, pulses and onion. These are the crops mainly grown in the red soil, in the block soil. So look at the picture: cotton, jowar, paddy, sunflower, chili and onion. So these are the different varieties of crops mainly grown in the block soil. Block soil is rich in aluminium, magnesium and oxide of iron, and it has the capacity to hold the moisture for a long time, and rich in nutrients, and fertility also is more. That is why different varieties of these crops can be easily grown in block soil. So this type of soil is extensively found in northern Karnataka. Red soil is found in southern part of Karnataka. Black soil is found in northern Karnataka. If you look at if you go North Karnataka, that is Hubli, Dharwad, that region, you can see that block soil. Or towards Maharashtra, if you go also, you can see that more black soil. That is why more cotton mills are there in Maharashtra. That is cotton growing area. That is why more cotton mills in Maharashtra. So if you go to the northern Karnataka, there we can see the black soil. So example, Dharwad, Gadag, Bellary, Koppal, Kalaburgi, Yadgiri, Bagalkot. These are the important districts which they have the black soil. Look at the map, Karnataka state map. That is Dharwad, Belagavi, Yadgiri, Kalaburgi and Belgaum, Bijapur. These are the Bagalkot. These are the regions having the black soil. Okay. And see the pictures. So the pulses, onion, chili, jowar, cotton, sunflower, these are the major crops can easily be grown in block soil. Okay. Now let us discuss the third important soil of Karnataka state, that is laterite soil. After discussing the red soil and black soil, the third important soil is laterite soil. So this kind of soil is found in areas of which receives heavy rainfall. So because of the heavy rainfall, laterite soil is found and have high temperature. The areas which are having more rainfall and more temperature, in such areas we can see the laterite soil. So water soluble lime and also silicates are mainly dissolved in the rainwater and settled down in the lower layers of the earth. That is why iron and also aluminium, it is more which are non-soluble, it remains the top layer of the earth. They are non-soluble. Iron and also aluminium, which are non-soluble, they remain the top layer of the soil, and the water soluble like lime and silicates, they are dissolved in the rainwater and settled down in the lower layer. The lower layer of the soil we can see, that is lime and silicates. In the upper layer of the soil, because this aluminium, iron, they are not soluble in the water. That is why they are found in the top layer of the soil, that is laterite soil. So look at the picture, laterite soil. The areas which receive heavy rainfall and also high temperature, and the pictures of the laterite soil. And the soil becomes soft during the rainy season. It becomes so soft and dries up during the summer. It becomes very hard in the summer, so leading to the information of laterite rock. And this rock is used for construction purpose. This laterite soil mainly used for construction purpose. So some of the crops also mainly grown there, that is cashew, coffee, tea, cardamom, pepper, rubber, coconut and other commercial crops also can be grown in this laterite soil. Examples, look at the pictures, construction purpose they use, and also that is the coffee, cashew nut and rubber and even coconut, coffee and tea plantations. Plantation crops are mainly grown in this laterite soil. And Uttar Kannada, which are the districts are having this laterite soil? Example, Uttar Kannada, it receives heavy rainfall and temperature is also high. And Udupi, Dakshina Kannada, Kodagu, Chikmagalur, Shivamogga and Belagavi, these areas we can say the more laterite soil. The areas which receives heavy rainfall, that is Dakshina Kannada, Udupi, Uttar Kannada, Shivamogga, Chikmagalur, these states, these districts especially, we can see more laterite soil. Usually this laterite soil found mainly the areas are districts which receives heavy rainfall and temperature is very high. In that area only we can say more laterite soil. So these are the important districts where we can see the laterite soil in Karnataka state. So look at the pictures, laterite soil and crops. The crops which mainly grown in the laterite soil, that is tea plantation, coffee plantation, coconut, coffee and cashew nut and rubber. These are the main important crops mainly grown in the laterite soil. So next is the fourth important soil, coastal alluvial soil. So this type of soil is formed along the coast due to the depositional work of the and alluvium and also sediments carried by the rivers and the sea waves. The coastal alluvial soil is mainly found because of the action of the sea waves and also action of the rivers. So these rivers carry the alluvium and deposits on the banks and forms the alluvial soil. So as such, the coastal districts of Karnataka state like Udupi, Dakshina Kannada and Uttara Kannada, they have this type of coastal alluvial soil. This coastal alluvial soil mainly formed due to the action of the rivers and action of the sea waves. Because of the depositional work of these two, sea waves and as well as the rivers, this alluvial soil is formed. It is mainly found in the coastal districts of Karnataka state such as Udupi, Dakshina Kannada and Uttara Kannada. These districts have in Karnataka state mainly the coastal alluvial soil. Look at the picture, coastal alluvial soil. So this part, especially this part, the coastal plain, there we can say coastal alluvial soil. So this soil consists of sand and clay. The alluvial soil, coastal alluvial soil consists of sand and clay and it is rich in organic nutrients. And also because of the rich fertility, we can grow good varieties of crops like paddy, cashew nut, coconut, areca nut. All of you have seen areca nut farms. Yes, very good, areca nut. And banana and other crops are grown well in this soil. So these are the crops, paddy field, cashew nut, areca nut and banana. These are the major crops which easily can be grown with the help of the more fertile alluvial soil. As now we have discussed the types of soil of Karnataka state, the four major important types of soil. The first one is red soil, second is black soil, the third is laterite soil, the fourth is coastal alluvial soil. So these are the four important types of soil found in Karnataka state, and which are the districts are having different types of soil also we have discussed, and which are the crops mainly grown, and the formation of all these different types of soil also we have discussed. The red soil mainly formed because of the weathering of granite rock. Black soil is formed because of weathering of basalt rock, and laterite soil is mainly formed because of the heavy rainfall and high temperature. And the fourth one is the coastal alluvial soil is formed because of action of the sea waves and action of the rivers. Depositional work it is called, depositional work of the rivers. Coastal alluvial soil is formed, and different varieties of crops which easily can be grown in these types of soil, and which are the districts having that varieties, different varieties of soil also we have discussed. After that, now I would like to give you some questions. The first one is extensively soil found in North Karnataka. Which soil is more found in northern Karnataka? And next one is mention the types of soils in Karnataka state. These are the questions. Be prepared and come. Let's meet in the next session and also look at the pictures, different crops. And these are the two questions. I repeat once again. Extensively soil found in North Karnataka is, means which soil is more found in northern Karnataka. And second one is mention the types of soils in Karnataka. These are the questions. Be prepared and come. Let's meet in the next session. Thank you. Sai Ram.